You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.
Do you want that real sports talk? Unfiltered, unsanitized? Well, you have found it. This is a revolution in radio. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show. This is sports talk for the people. Yeah! What's happening? Yeah. Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show, man. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate the love. Thank you. But we got to bring it back.
You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.
Do you want that real sports talk? Unfiltered, unsanitized? Well, you have found it. This is a revolution in radio. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show. This is sports talk for the people. Yeah! What's happening? Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you very much. And today is a Trbut Tuesday and a lot of stuff going on. You brought it back a third time. Had to get some stuff situated in studio here. Trbut Tuesday, June 2nd, 2015. And oh boy. Oh boy. Hey man, if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, thank you very much for joining me. Pass the word. Trust me, we have a great time around here Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. We talk sports, guy talk, whatever America's talking about pretty much is what we do. And that's kind of what we're going to hit here in a second. In the news today, Cam Newton about to get that money. Adrian Peterson says, I need to still get mine. UAB Blazers in the news, NBA Finals talk, a lot of stuff like that, man. Thank you. Shouts out to everybody already in the chat room in Spreaker.com. Shouts out to Rail Scott, Texas Ty, Vern from Jersey, Vet Ninja, Mocha Bella, Big Vince Wright. Shouts out to y'all. Thank you so much for joining your boy on the Doug Stewart Show. All right, so a lot of stuff to get into, but what America's talking about it. I mean, you see the title of the show. I titled the show Bruce Jenner, All in Shawty. So this reminds me of a little story from yesteryear. So I'm probably like 7, 8 years old, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And people from my hometown will remember this person. It was a guy / turned into woman named Vicky. And he used to do hair in my mother's hometown, in my hometown. And so whenever my mother used to go get her hair done by Vicky, that was her name, his name at the time. Whenever she used to go get her hair done by Vicky, or not every time, but sometimes she'd take me and she'd take my brother, and we'd have to sit in the seat and shut up and be quiet. So when she took us, I used to observe things, and after we'd leave, and I knew for some reason it didn't seem proper for me to ask at that time. You know, I'm 7, I'm 8 years old. And so I kind of understand what's going on a little bit. So I thought it would have been rude to ask these questions. So when we'd leave and we get in the car and I'd say, Ma, why does Vicky have hair on her knuckles? And my mother would just look at me and says, well, Vicky's just different, Dougie. She's just different. Then so we go another time. We go a month later or whatever, you know, trying to get that hair done. And we'd be leaving, and I'm observing the whole time we in there. And I said, Mom, I noticed something today. Vicky has an Adam's apple like Blackjack Mulligan. Why is that, Mom? And then my mother would go, well, you know, Vicky's just special. She's just different. You know, don't worry about it. It's all good. Another time we go in there. Another time we go in there and we leave. Ma, I noticed something today. I was paying attention to Vicky, and Vicky, she wears size 14 shoes, I think. Her shoes are bigger than Will Chamberlain's sneakers. Well, why is that? Why does Vicky have so much bigger feet than yours? Vicky's just special, Dougie. She's just special. Well, it's all good. Don't worry about it. And then so many years later, my mother told me, and everybody told me, I guess at some point, that Vicky actually used to be a dude. Yeah, Vicky actually used to be a dude in high school. And my mother actually went to high school with Vicky. And I think his name is somebody from my hometown will remind me. I think his real name when he was in high school was like Rufus or something like that. A real manly name. I mean, to have a name like Rufus is saying a lot. So he went from Rufus to Vicky. And in a nutshell, the moral of the story is Vicky was different, but Vicky was okay. Vicky was cool. Vicky never did anything to anybody. Vicky never bothered anybody at all. And that kind of ties us into this phenomenon, this story that broke yesterday. And really it's been ongoing. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Really it's been ongoing for the last couple of years. It's really picked up in the last couple of months about the great Olympian Bruce Jenner, who, keep in mind, during my day, Bruce Jenner was like the top athlete in the world and the biggest athlete in this country. You know, 76 Olympics, he won the triathlon or whatever, and decathlon, and Bruce Jenner was the man. He was on the cover of Wheaties, so it's come out that he decided he wanted to be a woman. And he actually went through with it, and the first time that he showed the world the finished product was yesterday, in an article and a cover on Vanity Fair, and he's changed his name to Caitlyn. And America is talking about this at the water cooler. Now, I kind of described it a little bit in a little story I had about the great Vicky from my hometown. R.I.P. Vicky died many, many years ago, probably 15, 20 years ago in a car accident. But I told that little story to say this, in my real opinion, the bottom line about Bruce Jenner and this whole story is it's not bothering me. She's probably not bothering you, or he's not bothering you. It's his life. It's her life. And if you're upset about it and you're ranting and raving about it, you probably got better things to do. Now, I will say this, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I actually like being a dude. I do. I think being a dude has its benefits. I mean, it's actually kind of good being a dude. So I don't think that I would ever, I'm pretty sure that I would never want to be a woman. But that's Bruce Jenner, okay? That's Bruce Jenner, and you got to remember this is a different day and time, and things happen like this. And you got to remember also one other thing is this is an aberration. This is an outlier. I had a conversation with a dude a couple of weeks ago when this story got ramped up a little bit. Something happened in the news with Bruce Jenner, and so we were talking about it, and he was talking about the effect that this is going to have on society, and that's a totally different conversation that we'd have to have on the long-term effect of society on this type of thing. But I mean, it's okay. Bruce Jenner wanted to be a woman, and he actually went through and did some things to become more like a woman. It's not the end of the world. In effect, is what I'm saying. It's not the end of the world. Once again, whether you think it's the ill effects of society and we're going to hell and this, that, and the other, I don't know about all of that. I mean, I'm not going to be getting into that type of conversation on this show because this show is really sports and it's guy talk, and it's also what everybody in America is talking about as well. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Would I want, or would I be okay if my nephews, I don't have any sons, I got daughters. Would I be okay if my nephews 20 years down the road said they wanted to be a woman and they did this thing that Bruce Jenner did? I probably wouldn't like that. I mean, I'm from the country. All right? I'm from the country, and, you know, it's very conservative in a lot of the things that we do. I probably wouldn't be cool with that. But if they did it, would I still love them? Yeah. And I even hate to even make that or say that statement to speak it into existence. Bottom line is, if there's family and if somebody you love, you're going to continue to love them no matter what they do, right? Huh? So, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. This thing is, I guess I had to talk about it because the story's hot like fish grease. So I had to talk about it a little bit. So that's my thoughts, man. It ain't bothering me. It's not an outlier. It's not an everyday occurrence that you're going to see this. It's a big story because it's Bruce Jenner, and he was a famous or is a famous person in our society. But don't think every time you look around, your cousin going to be trying to get a sex change or do what Bruce Jenner's did. And if they did, is it really bothering you? And I'm doing my Larry David voice in my face here. It's not really bothering you. So, you know, whatever. People are talking about it. It's a big, big story. And so I'm not going to read a lot of chat on it today because some people can be mean. Yes. Even some of the Stewies can be mean. Yeah. So, I mean, if you want to mention something about it in the chat on Spreaker.com, that's fine. But I'm going to try to keep that conversation to a minimum because it could get out of hand very, very quick if you understand what I'm saying. So that's my thoughts on it. I couldn't, just totally evade the conversation. So that's my thought. I mean, this is something that we've seen many, many times before. I mean, this is nothing new, really. It's a big story because of Bruce Jenner, but like my story about the great Vicky, I mean, Vicky had this procedure done, and I think she actually had the procedure. She had the procedure done in Thailand or something like 40 years ago. Yeah, so this is nothing new. You don't see it all the time. It's heightened because it's Bruce Jenner, but he not bothering you. He's not bothering you. Simple as that. All right, when we get back from the break, man, let's talk about some sports. Today is a Trbut Tuesday. We're paying homage to the great Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Yes, we're doing that. And we're going to talk about the sports and whatever else you want to talk about. All right. Cam Newton's in the news, or about to be in the news in a big, big way. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU.
The Doug Stewart Show.
The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show.
If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. The number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. But the way to be totally interactive is through the chat on Spreaker.com. And I'm going to read a lot of your chat. What I do on this show and the way that I make the show interactive is by reading a lot of chat. We do birthdays, and also, as I mentioned in the first segment today, we're paying tribute to the great Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. You hear the message in the background. So I'll give you some little some little facts and little known things about the great Grandmaster Flash and Furious Five. And there goes another example of how the DJ's name was placed in front as opposed to the artist. I mean, that's old school. You know, Eric B. and Rakim, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. So old school. The DJ was the ish, all right? The DJ was actually the ish and not the artist. Now, that's flipped around, obviously, in a big, big way. But, yeah. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, one of the pioneers. They started out in 1978. That's way before most of us in the country, you know, outside of New York, had even heard about hip-hop. 78? Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five got together. I think probably my earliest memory, well, it's not probably, it is. It's Rapper's Delight by Sugar Hill Gang, and I think that didn't come along till like 82 or whatever. So like hip-hop had been around in New York City for a couple of years before everybody else even got up on it, man. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Cam Newton, man, is probably going to get a new deal in the next couple of days here. It's being reported by ESPN 730 Radio in Charlotte. And it's going to be somewhere around $20 million a year. He's going to make about $14.5 million this year. So they're looking at between $20 and $21 million a year. And so the question always comes up whenever these young quarterbacks get these big deals is there or are they worth it? And all I would have to say to that, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, is if you gave big money to Colin Kaepernick, Andy Dalton, Ryan Tannehill, guys like that, then, you know, Cam Newton definitely deserves it because not only has Cam had good success, now he's been up and down, but not only has Cam had success in going to the playoffs, actually winning a playoff game in his short time in the NFL. But Cam Newton is the brand. He is the face of the Carolina Panthers. I mean, there's not a lot of guys that have their own commercials. Cam's got commercials. He's got a very interesting, sometimes strange personality as well. So he's definitely the face and the voice of the Carolina Panthers. So if you gave money to Andy Dalton, if you gave $70, $80, $90, $100 million contracts to those guys, and Cam Newton probably deserves about $200 million, okay? And Andy Dalton got a $21 million guaranteed bonus in the deal that he just signed. Was that last year or maybe it was a couple of years ago? If he got that much in guaranteed money, and actually that's Ryan Tannehill I'm talking about, then Cam Newton probably deserves double that. So there's still a lot of upside to Cam Newton. There's things that he can work on to get better, but he's big, strong, athletic. Last year really beat up, but when he can play, he's one of the most exciting players as well. So there's a combination of excitement. He's kind of like the face of the team, one of the faces of the league. He's got commercial appeal, and he can play. He's got a big-ass arm, and so Cam Newton, if any of these bums deserve this money, man, I don't think any player deserves the type of money that these guys are getting. The only guys in the NFL as far as quarterbacks that deserve this type of money, these $100 million contracts, is really Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, maybe Aaron Rodgers. I mean, that's pretty much it. But that's what the going rate is today, and so Cam going to get his money, so I'm happy for him. Congratulations. When it's consummated, we'll talk about it a little bit more. So good for Cam Newton. Atlanta's own. Don't forget that. From the SWAT, Shawty. From Westlake High School in Southwest Atlanta. So shouts out to Cam Newton. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. From Jose Negron. Can't do this Bruce Jenner-ish all day. Trust me, we won't. From Montana Jones, Doug putting people biz in the streets, laugh out loud. Well, and you know what? I actually didn't even change the name of my little story about the great Vicky from my hometown because, like I said, he's been deceased for many, many years, and everybody knows the story from my hometown, so I don't think it's a shock. I don't think I was letting any secrets out, per se. Everybody knew about the great Vicky. Niner for life. Why are we even discussing Bruce? Mocha, did you ask for this? Laugh out loud. Eddie Mo 2.0. The reason why we discussed it or I mentioned it or I talked about it in that first segment and not really going to talk about it anymore is because America's talking about it. I mean, we are sports people. We want to talk sports, but let's be honest. We talk about everything that people are talking about. And Bruce Jenner broke some type of record, or Caitlyn Jenner broke some type of record on yesterday on Twitter. So people are talking about it. You might say you ain't talking about it. Your ass been talking about it. Just stop it. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Eddie Mo 2.0. Oh, Vicky. Oh, what big hands do you have? Laugh out loud. Yeah, Vicky had some big-ass hands. I mean, now, my mother, them, they'll tell you that she did hair better than anybody in our whole county. Like, he was the greatest hairdresser in the history of hairdressers. Like, my mom is still mad today that Vicky ain't around to do her due. I mean, she is. Still talks about Vicky. From Juan Cruz, no Bruce Jenner talk, please. J-Rob, sure hope we don't talk about Jenner. Let's go to the sports, Niner for life. This is guy talk. Yeah, it's guy talk, but it's dude talk as well. Once again, we talk about what America's talking about. From Let Me, BPA for Doug if he talks Bruce today. J-Rob, come on, Doug. First of all, I'm not getting a BPA. And for new people to the show, a BPA is a Boiled Peanuts Award. It's a long story. Ask somebody in the chat room about it. They'll tell you about it. From Felpay, the Kardashian family has a stranglehold on the media. J-Rob, let me stop right there with that whole Kardashian comment. We talked about this when it came up a couple of weeks ago, and the conversation was between me and Tree. And Tree, jump on the microphone here for a second, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Tree is the producer to the Doug Stewart Show, and Tree said that she thought that this whole thing was some type of publicity stunt. They're trying to promote a reality show that he's going to do down the road. And I scoffed at that, Tree. I thought that was crazy. I'm like, nobody goes to the lengths that they're looking to go to in this whole sex change just to promote a show. And he actually came out, or she actually came out and said that this isn't a publicity stunt. But I'm starting to believe there's a little truth in what you're saying because in my mind, Tree, This is a personal thing, and I've always had a problem with even the gay community, or in this situation, where you're announcing this. This is a personal matter, seemingly to me. Why would you make such a hoopla and do a magazine cover? So I'm kind of feeling you on the whole point that this might be a publicity stunt to a degree.
Listen, 65 years old, you have daughters that have this extravagant lifestyle. I don't know what kind of Social Security you got, but you got to make your money.
Yeah.
And the deal is, if he's done. I'm not saying he's done living his life. I'm saying that there is money to be made. And when you are under the guise of a Kris Kardashian, okay, we see that she has that power to talk those children or like people that are around her.
She's like a
anything.
snake charmer. She's like a snake charmer.
Yes. And the other piece about this is this man, or Caitlyn is going to make so much money. You know about the award, and I know y'all don't want to talk about it, but I was really upset yesterday when I had to read a story, and the story was that ESPN is going to give him the Arthur Ashe Courage Award.
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah,
I know what for. So you can then go to Coke and say, don't you want to advertise during the ESPYs? Everyone's going to be watching it.
Yeah.
$1 billion.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't know about that and what the Puppet Factory's doing with that Arthur Ashe Award. I don't know about that. Once again, I really don't want to get into a lot of the politics of the situation. But, I hear and I'm reading all of this chat and people saying they don't want to talk about it. That's not true. I mean, you do want to talk about it to a degree, and we're not going to stay on it, per se, by me. But it's a big story, and it's kind of tied into sports and guy talk because of Bruce Jenner. I mean, we can't forget that in the whole synopsis of this story. We cannot forget Bruce Jenner was on the cover of Wheaties growing up. In the psyche of a little boy in Berkeley County, South Carolina, amongst going to South Carolina, Bruce Jenner was the best athlete in the world. Okay? In 76, I was 7 years old. So that's right up the wheelhouse of my love for sports. And so I go to the grocery store with my mama once again, and we go down the cereal aisle, and there's this dude on the cereal aisle, and there's this dude on the cover of Wheaties, and it's Bruce Jenner. So it's sports. It is sports related. It's a very interesting, twisted kind of type thing, kind of taboo type thing, but it's very interesting as evidenced by the conversation that the world has had on Twitter. And this is interesting. It's interesting. And in a crazy type of way, it is twisted and tied into sports. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. So I'm taking your thoughts on that. Once again, don't say anything crazy. I'm not going to read it. I'm going to try to review some of the chat messages on Spreaker.com, especially today. And then also we talked about Cam Newton getting a new contract for the Carolina Panthers. How about this? If you're a Carolina Panther fan, and I'm sure we have some. I mean, we're in Atlanta. I mean, Carolina's in the NFC South. We're in this part of the country. If you're a Carolina Panther fan, are you all in on Cam Newton? Just like the title of today's show, Bruce Jenner is all in, Shawty. Are you all in on Cam Newton? Do you believe Cam Newton can win you a Super Bowl? I think he can. I think they got to get more pieces around him now. They got the Kelvin Benjamin kid from Florida State, who, makes a big step as far as getting Cam some weapons. But the running back situation is kind of in a mess right now with Jonathan Stewart being injured seemingly all the time. D'Angelo Williams, I think, was traded, so they got to get a running back. They also need to add some other pieces for Cam to get the ball to. The defense is solid. So, I mean, I think that they could realistically win a Super Bowl. I hope not, obviously, because I'd rather for the Falcons to win or the Atlanta Falcons to win a Super Bowl before Carolina. But, I mean, I think it's possible. I think Cam's probably one of the most talented quarterbacks that we've ever seen. Is he Tom Brady? Is he Peyton Manning? Is he John Elway? We haven't seen that yet. Kind of inconsistent, to be honest with you. But I think that he has tremendous talent, a tremendous skill set. Athletically, he's one of the top, 2 or 3 quarterbacks to probably ever play the game. When you talk about him, Vic, Randall Cunningham, Steve Young, those type of guys. So I think they can do it, man. I think they got a I think they got to pay that man his money. So if you're a Carolina fan, what are your thoughts on Cam Newton getting a new deal? And that being your quarterback for the foreseeable future. All right? 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. And, whatever you want to get into, man, we can get into it on today's show. I mean, this is the realest, trillest show in America. I mean, we talk about real things. And so the conversation for the last 24 hours has been about Bruce Jenner. So, we got to talk about it. I'm sorry. For all you staunch, keep it to sports people, I'm doing Larry David again. I get it. But this is technically sports related, once again. All right, when we get back from the break, man, UAB back on the map. Incredible story coming out of Birmingham. We'll talk about that. I'll read more of your chat, and we'll do birthdays. Trbut Tuesday, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5. Don't go away. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on thedougsstewartshow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougsstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU.
Beep, beep, you and the crew. Hold it.
Yeah, that's us. We back. And we want y'all to know we getting into a birthday thing. Now I want everybody to put your hand up in there if you got a birthday. Now I don't care if it already came or if it already done passed. Now everybody say happy
Birthday! Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. And this is a Trbut Tuesday, and the great Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5 is today's tribute artist. And what better way to go into the birthday segment of today's show with the birthday song from Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5. Because any time is a happy time when the birthday party run. Yeah, this is the Doug Stewart Show. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Today's birthdays. Happy birthday to the great Wayne Brady. Is Wayne Brady going to have to choke a bitch? He's 43 years old, very talented dude. He hosts like Let's Make a Deal. He's been obviously on a ton of stuff. He's hosted a couple of shows, can sing. Very interesting dude. Probably going to, and it's funny, kind of like we're going to remember John Madden for the Madden football video game, and not for his great, tenure as a coach in the NFL. We're probably going to remember Wayne Brady. Most of the people I hang out with, we're probably going to remember Wayne Brady for the skit that he did on Dave Chappelle, where he just went rogue. I mean, kind of like Alonzo from Training Day with Dave Chappelle in the car with him. But I'm going to remember that more so about Wayne Brady than all the other great positive things that he's done in his life. Also today, Dennis Haysbert is 61 years old. You know who that is? That's the dude in the Allstate commercials, the black dude in the Allstate commercials. Played the role of the president on the television series 24 and sergeant on The Unit. So happy birthday to them. Little known fact about Doug Stewart is I hated that TV show 24. I mean, I guess I really didn't watch it long enough to hate it. But here's my thing. I watched probably 2 episodes of 24. And then after the second episode, I said to myself, that this whole concept is ridiculous. You do realize that one episode of 24, and Tree, jump on here for a second because I think maybe me and you have had this conversation before. You do realize that one episode of 24 is 1 hour in the day. The entire season theoretically takes place in one day. So one episode is 1 hour. So in 1 hour's time, see, this is the way my mind thinks. In 1 hour's time, you could have 5 car crashes, 6 shootouts, 20 murders, 5 abductions, all within 1 hour. And it just never made sense to me. So, yes, I know. The men in America love 24. The men in America love Entourage. Entourage is another thing I never got. I never understood that. There's another story behind that. But, yeah, I never liked the TV show 24 just because it just didn't make sense to me. As simple as that. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. UAB reinstates football for 2016. Congratulations. They terminated the football program in December, citing, lack of feasibility, the fact that they couldn't make real money. And they're saying everything has changed because of really they listened to the people. There was public outroar or a public uproar about the whole thing. Football, I mean, that's a big thing to most communities, especially a community in Alabama where football is king. And in effect, they raised $27 million to bring football back to the University of Alabama, Birmingham. The Blazers will be back in 2016. That's a great story. And there's no other way to look at it. Hit dog a holler. Hit dog will holler. And so I guess the alumni and the patrons of football games at UAB felt like that it was something to fight for and that it was valuable to the school and to the community. And they came together, man, and they raised enough money to bring the program back. Now, they lost most of their players, or I'm assuming all of their players have transferred out. But they're going to field a team. They're going to skip this year, obviously. It's too late to play football this year, but they'll be back in 2016. So I think that's a great story, man. Congratulations to UAB. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let me read more chat here. Oh, special birthday, and I'm sorry. Let me play the music just for him. Happy birthday to Brandon Scott. My man Harvey Scott's in the chat, son. Happy birthday, Brandon. Happy birthday. I meant to do that earlier. And also belated birthday to Detroit Matt's son. And I had it written down like a week ago that he said that it was his son's birthday, and I neglected to mention it. But once again, if you tell me about someone in your life's birthday that's important to you in the chat room, we will wish them a happy birthday. So happy birthday to Brandon Scott. His 12th birthday, I believe he said, and then also happy birthday to Detroit Matt's son in Michigan. Happy birthday to those children. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at Doug@thedugstewartshow.com. From Rel Scott, Cutler stole millions, ain't won nothing. Go ahead, Cam, get your money. 100% agree. Once again, I mentioned a couple of guys that just, even Colin Kaepernick, he got that big deal, and a lot of these contracts aren't guaranteed, so I really believe Cam's going to get more guaranteed money than a lot of these guys that we mentioned already in today's show. But, yeah, if you paying Jay Cutler $100 million or giving him a $100 million contract, then Cam deserves a $200 million contract. Much more success and much less time than Jay Cutler, in my opinion. From Fell Pay, Cam Newton is built like the way you want your quarterback to be built in 2015. Dude is a beast. I agree. I donated on Doug's website earlier. Who's next? That man is issuing a challenge. Yes! Thank you, Let Me. We really appreciate that, man. And you can donate to the Doug Stewart Show on thedugstewartshow.com. There's a little donate button to the right. If you donate $20 or more, man, we'll send you a first-run edition of the Doug Stewart Show T-shirt. So thank you very much, my man. Let me. It's greatly appreciated. For Montana Jones, Peyton ain't won-ish for all the records he has. Peyton did win a Super Bowl. Who are you talking about? You're not talking about Peyton Manning, are you? From Eddie Mo 2.0. Cam just has to stop being so emotional, needs to develop football amnesia, forget about the bad plays, and keep pushing. There's a lot of areas that Cam can improve upon, man, but I think that's something that will greatly help him in the short term and in the long term, really, is weapons. Just having guys to throw the ball to. A lot of time, Cam he's done a lot of this stuff on his own, and I think he has a mentality like he's still at Auburn, and he feels like that he can run away from guys and run over guys. That's not the case so much in the NFL as it was in college. So I think once he realizes and has weapons around him and realizes that he can spread the ball out more, I think he'll even get better. The Kicking It with Kissy show. Yep, I donated yesterday too. Who's next? Campaign for TDS. Donate. Yes, that's 2 in one chat. Hey, man, and trust me, man, everything that you donate to the Doug Stewart Show, man, will go right back into helping the show grow and to get bigger and better in the production and promoting it. We're doing I can tell you right now, a lot of your marketing dollars or your money that you donate, we're using as marketing dollars to gain awareness about the show. You'd be surprised how hard it is to get the word out about an online show, but it's very, very difficult. So we're doing some marketing online. We do these Facebook ads as well. You know how you see to the little right, and you see an ad, and then someone clicks onto it, and they find out about something that you're promoting. That's actually what we're doing a lot of, man. And because if we get the listeners, if we get the recognition out there, then everything else will handle itself once we get the listenership up. So thank you very much. I appreciate it again. From William Mack, I came in here today just to nominate ESPN for a BPA for nominating Jenner for the Arthur Ashe Courage Award. Gotta get out of here, or get out of here. Will we nominate ESPN for giving Bruce Jenner / Caitlyn Jenner a BPA award? Will we nominate them for a BPA award? Let me think about that a little bit, because it is an award. It's named after the great Arthur Ashe. I don't know about that. And once again, like I said in the first segment, it's Bruce Jenner. That's what he wants to do. I don't necessarily know if that's even good or bad. Who am I to judge? Once again, I try not to judge people or whatever. Once again, I'm happy being a dude. I like being a dude. It's actually a pretty good gig. But that's Bruce Jenner. I don't know. Rel Scott, attaching the Arthur Ashe Courage Award to a confused Mickey Ficky is detestable. Eddie Mo 2.0, waving my hand, all in, god damn it. Panthers keep pounding NFC South champions 2 times. They won the NFC South last year with a 7-9 record or something crazy like that. Don't beat your chest too much, bruh, is all I'm saying, Eddie Mo 2.0. William Mack, the ESPYs and ESPN get the BPA this week, going away for awarding Jenner with the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage. There's no competition this week. So those are some of your thoughts on that. We got to think about that. As far as the Arthur Ashe Courage Award that ESPN is giving out to Bruce or Caitlyn Jenner. I don't know. Once again, and I said it in the first segment of the show, I don't know if I would actually label in effect. I'm not saying that what he did isn't fine with him or her, whatever it is right now. I'm not saying that, but to label it courage or to label the fact that you're announcing this to the world, because that's what you're doing. That's in effect what Bruce Jenner has done, is he's just announced this to the world that he did this. So I don't really totally understand the concept of where the word courage comes into play with that. That's what he wanted to do. That's fine. And I don't think most people, myself included, have too big of an issue with it. Once again, it doesn't affect me in one way or the other. But I'm always kind of at loss or lost to the whole connection between the word courage and announcing what you've done to the world. I mean, that's fine. A lot of times I don't even believe these types of things. And I mentioned it earlier, even in talking about the gay community and having these big, announcements and proclamations about doing this. I mean, that's fine. I mean, but you want to be treated as an equal, right? So why the need? And maybe someone can explain it to me. I'm really naive about this, to be honest with you. Maybe someone can explain to me why the need for announcements and to pose for magazine covers and to do interviews. This seems to me to be, once again, a very personal thing. This seems to be a very personal thing. So to have a press conference and to announce it and to make such a big hoopla about it, to me almost seems kind of disingenuous. Kind of like the conversation that we had earlier, me and Tree, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, about it almost feeling kind of, sort of like, almost like a publicity stunt. To me, it just seems like a very personal thing. I don't get it. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. I have to keep mentioning it and saying it over and over and over again. If that's what Bruce or Caitlyn wants to do, that's fine. Once again, we all live our own lives, and we make decisions for our betterment. I mean, you really can't worry about what other people think in any regard, whether it's Bruce Jenner or whether it's, anybody listening to the show right now in the chat room or whatever. You really just can't. You have to live your life. So it is what it is. This is the Doug Stewart Show. 443820338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Oh boy, LeBron James made an incredible statement on yesterday. We'll talk about that. The NBA playoffs. I keep saying playoffs. The NBA finals get tipped off this Thursday night, man. Going to be one of the most interesting and should be most fun-filled finals that we've seen in a long, long time. So we'll talk about that and what LeBron had to say coming up next. All right, more of your chat as well. This is the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! This is your boy Doug Stewart, one half of the Two Live Stews. Check out my brand new daily show and podcast that airs live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Spreaker.com. That's the Doug Stewart Show daily at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Spreaker.com. Or check out the podcast anytime, 24/7. If you're not stewing, what in the world are you doing?
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Trbut Tuesday. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Hailing from New York City. South Bronx, baby. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Once again, originating in 1978. They were active between 78 and 82. I guess then they took a little break. And came back in 87 and 88, signed to Sugar Hill Records and Elektra Records, two of the legendary labels in music. And check out their website, man, when you get a second. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious5.com. Yes, sir. So getting your thoughts on this Bruce Jenner story, Cam Newton. We'll talk about Adrian Peterson here in a second. Adrian Peterson just had to go ahead and just swallow his pride, man. So we'll talk about that. But here's a quote from LeBron James. After racking up a couple of MVPs in 11 years, he had an interesting statement that he made on yesterday to the press. He says, quote, "I think if you put it all together, James says, if you put everything together as far as my mind, my body, my game, if you put everything in one bottle, this is probably the best I've ever been." Ooh. That's saying a lot because this ninja has been pretty good. And when asked a question about how, where does he think he's at in his game right now, in the NBA game in general, and he's saying right now he's probably playing his best basketball of all time. And you know about all of the attributes, the scoring ability, the passing ability, the size, the strength, the speed. There's probably never been. Well, I mean, that's not a probably about it. Let me just take out the word probably. And I always say the word probably, but there has never been. And I even asked the old dudes this before. I've talked to old dudes about it. There's never been, a player like LeBron James with that skill set and that body, that size, that strength, that speed once again. It just hasn't been, man. And the guy has such a recognition and a know-how about the game of basketball. It's unbelievable. And so right now he's saying he's playing his best basketball of his career. So is the equalizer of LeBron James going to be enough to overcome the Golden State Warriors, who look like a well-oiled machine right now? I mean, they simply do. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I think this is a great matchup, man. I think it's a great matchup for that simple reason. I think most people believe that Golden State is the best team, but you have this X factor once again called LeBron James. I mean, will he have enough to offset the greatness that Golden State has shown throughout this season? Will he be enough to catapult this team to an NBA championship, the first one for the Cleveland Cavaliers in team history? It would be his fourth, or no, it would be his third. It would be his third. He actually has gone to several finals. I think he's lost 4, won 2. Or lost 2. 1-2, so 4 total. So can he win it this year? And a lot of people are already saying, you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, that, great ones, they find a way to win. Michael Jordan was undefeated in the finals, blah, 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 blah. And if LeBron doesn't win this finals, even though, once again, most people would agree that Golden State has the better team, then LeBron James is not the great player that everybody thinks that he is. I don't know about that necessarily, but it's going to be very interesting to watch what happens in these finals. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. From 90 the Rhino, he says, Courage is driving down MLK after midnight. I tend to agree, sir. Or Simpson Road in Atlanta. From J. Rob, Doug, did you know Shaq has a weekly podcast? Maybe worth an appearance for more sponsorship and listeners. Just saying. Yeah, that would be good if we can make that happen. James, the big truck driver. Hey, did you all hear about Lil Wayne trying to fight a referee at a Stop the Violence basketball game? I did not hear about that. So wait a minute. Let me read this again. I'm sorry, I misread the post. He says, hey, did you all hear about Lil Wayne trying to fight a referee at a Stop the Violence basketball game? That's not cool. If that actually happened, that's not cool. Yeah, that's kind of it's kind of contradictory of what we're trying to get done here, Lil Wayne. I mean, damn. From Felpay, I didn't know you like to get wet, Dave. Wayne Brady. That's a quote from the Wayne Brady Dave Chappelle skit. For people that have never seen the skit, I guess for younger people that weren't in the wheelhouse of Chappelle's show when it was the top, thing on TV for a couple of years, go to YouTube and just Google Wayne Brady, Dave Chappelle, and watch the skit. Wayne Brady has this, wholesome brand. I mean, he's like the ultimate nice guy, and he wasn't the nice guy in this little skit. It's as simple as that. Go check it out. From Let Me, Bruce is not in the top. Is not the first to come out. The success of the Kardashians make this story relevant. After the ESPN circus, this story will fade like LeBron's hairline. Leave LeBron's hairline alone. Speaking of which, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I saw a clip yesterday, and they showed like the first week of practice with LeBron in practice with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I'm sure you saw that. Did y'all see that? And in this clip, LeBron damn near was like George Jefferson. Right. He was like George Jefferson. I mean, as far as his receding hairline, like it had really taken a turn for the worse real fast, like over the summer. And so when he got back, it was evident that he was George Jefferson in, And so I don't know what he did. I don't know. My brother-in-law says that he did some type of hair replacement for men or whatever and flew to China and had it done. I don't know. But clearly he's had something done, bro, and that's not a good look. I think that if you want to do something like that, you got to catch it before everybody else recognizes what's going on. Because once you've gone to a certain point, you can't go back, bro. You can't go back, and I think that's why LeBron has so much conversation out there about that, is because we saw that your hair was gone, bro, and we've all gone through it. I mean, it's a tragic, time in a guy's life when he starts to lose his hair. I mean, you've had it your whole life, and then you lose it. So it's understandable that you want to keep your hair. But once you've gone to that point, or once it's to the back of your damn head, you can't go back, bro. It's not a good look. It's just not a good look. From Let Me, Bruce is not the first to come out. I just read that. From Thorny Switch, no way Devin Steele should not win that award. ESPN is making a mockery of the Arthur Ashe Award, and that's not a coincidence. Yeah, and that's a very good point. You're talking about Devin Steele, the young lady who has cancer, and ESPN did a couple of stories about her father that plays for the Cincinnati Bengals, and their story on her fight against cancer. And, I mean, that's courage. That's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't understand the whole thing about courage whenever you come out of the closet, whether that's in Bruce Jenner's situation or whether that's, to the gay community. And once again, nothing against the gay community, but I just have an issue. Well, not really an issue. I just don't understand. Maybe somebody can explain it to me why the word courage is attached to coming out of the closet or in any situation. That's courage. If you're talking about courage and the Arthur Ashe Award, that's a story tied into sports. Her father plays in the NFL. They highlighted it in a feature on the Puppet Factory. And this young lady is fighting against cancer. And from what I understand and read a story yesterday, maybe even, or 2 days ago, she's had a setback. And so her father is asking us as sports fans and the world in general to pray for this young lady. She's been fighting the good fight. That's a story of courage. And I totally agree with Thorny Switch and his thoughts about that. I totally agree, man. I don't know, man. And this is why, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and this is kind of how I separate myself from everybody else and from, the Puppet Factory. And, clearly there's a lot of stuff politically going on behind the scenes. I'm going to give you an honest opinion. I'm going to keep it real to the realest that I can. I don't mean to offend anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings or whatever. But I got to give you an honest opinion. And that's an honest opinion, man, is I just don't understand why a story wouldn't be highlighted and celebrated with this Arthur Ashe Award. Who deserves it more than somebody like Devin Still? That's a tremendous story. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. You can also email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. We get back from the break, man. The quickest 2 hours in sports and entertainment. Yes, hour number 2 is coming up. Don't go away. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedugstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedugstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedugstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt, specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Tribute Tuesday playing homage to the great Grandmaster Flash in Furious 5. Did you know that Grandmaster Flash is 67 years old? Damn! Flash is old as Methuselah. It's not his birthday, but I just saw that in reading their bio. And Grandmaster Flash is 67 years old. I'm remembering. So I don't forget. Let me mention this quickly. And I meant to do this yesterday, and you know how it happens. I've had a lot of hits to the head, so sometimes I'll forget things. But I meant to mention this, and I didn't. The other night's episode of Game of Thrones was epic! Yes, sir! And if you're a Game of Thrones fan, oh, my Lord. Like, it's been a day, so I guess I'm okay to talk about it. And most people are very, very loyal to that show, so they don't let too many days pass, especially all of the conversation after the fact. The Game of Thrones the other night, man, was just epic. Unbelievable. Man, when that snow starts shuffling around and the White Walkers show up, you just need to just turn and try to get the hell out of town, Shawty. I mean, you need to leave, Jack. Don't ask no questions. Don't start looking for nothing. You need to try to get the hell out of town. My Game of Thrones fans know what I'm talking about and what happened the other night on the episode, man. You need to try to get on a boat. Clearly they're scared of water or something like that. You need to try to find yourself a boat. You need to try to get away. Don't ask no questions. Don't start trying to figure out what's going on. When you realize that snow starts shuffling and there's snow slides or whatever, just get to getting. It's as simple as that. Get to getting. Tree, jump on the mic for a second here. And I can't remember, Tree, if you told me you watched Game of Thrones or not.
No, I do not. I don't have time to take on another show, but everyone in the chat room, JB said he spoke on Game of Thrones yesterday, and he said that episode put Walking Dead to shame.
Okay, well, I mentioned Walking Dead yesterday, how I'm finishing up the last season. I'm in episode 12, I think, now. I watched a couple of episodes yesterday. Walking Dead is a fantastic show in itself. The thing about Game of Thrones, for people that know, and I'm talking about this because this is a big topic in this country once again, just like Bruce Jenner or whatever. But the thing about Game of Thrones, and I think I told you this, Tree, is it's a phenomenal show, but it is a lot. I mean, it's a lot to take in. And I don't know, obviously, you know, I ain't one of the smartest guys in the world, but I'm not also one of the I'm also not one of the dumbest. So TV is what I do. I had to actually go back and watch it a second time around every season to fully comprehend what's going on. It's so many different storylines. There's probably like 7 or 8 different families that they talk about in this series, and each family has like 3 characters that they focus on that has speaking lines. It's just a lot to connect. And after I watched it the second time, it all connected like, oh, okay. Like I found myself when I watched it the second time around, every time something happened, I'd be like, oh, okay, now I get it. But I had to do that. I'm glad I did that, but it's a phenomenal show. You definitely, Tree, you would like this show.
So
you would like this show.
Is it a lot of raping and pillaging?
Oh, it's a ton of raping and pillaging. I mean, it's a ton of that. It's a ton of raping. It's a ton of pillaging. It's obviously very graphic, nudity. I mean, you saw Spartacus. The fight scenes and the killing are very, very graphic. I mean, you'd love this. I'm telling you. You would love it.
Now, how far behind am I?
I think this is season 5, or this might even be season 6. So it's going to take a while for you to watch the entire thing, but do it. And as a matter of fact, if I were you, if I were telling somebody that went back and watched it right now, I would tell you from the very beginning, if you don't understand something, rewind it or go back and watch the episode twice from the very beginning, because it's hard. It's very difficult to take in all, you know, the very first time. It's just very tough.
Right.
But yeah,
okay.
but
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna commit.
Okay, great. I'm happy to hear that. See, I passed the word on great TV. That's what I do on this show as well. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I mean, golly, man. I mean, TV has just grown by leaps and bounds over the last couple of years, and it's totally because of cable and because of the liberties that they have in cable TV. But, yeah, we talked about top 5. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. We talked about top 5 TV series of all times. And, man, it's hard to even come up with the top 5. I mean, because I feel like I got to put Game of Thrones in there somewhere. I got to put The Walking Dead in there. And also, what cable has done is it's made these other networks, regular networks like CBS, NBC, and non-cable networks, it's made them step their game up. And I know technically Walking Dead isn't on network TV and talking about the big 3, but I mean, it's not cable. It's on regular TV. It's on basic cable. And a lot of these shows that we see now, like Walking Dead and, even, what was the TV show that I talked about I just saw? Breaking Bad, shows like that on AMC and all of those shows, man, they've had to step their game up. And it's just fantastic TV series, man, out there over the last 10 or so years. Just fantastic. All starting back on HBO with Oz, and then The Wire, and then The Sopranos and all of that stuff, man. Just fantastic TV. Shouts out to TV makers. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. So what are your thoughts on the other night's episode of Game of Thrones? You can talk about that in the chat as well. Also, Adrian Peterson has said that he is going to report to the Minnesota Vikings for an OTA. He says, quote, "I'm returning because I want to. I'm a part of this football team, and I owe it to the guys I play with and to our coaches." He wrote in a letter yesterday, "I was planning on coming in this week, and I'm looking forward to getting back on the field. It's what I love to do," and that's actually from a letter today that he wrote. Peterson is scheduled to make $12.75 million in 2015. The Vikings have taken this hard stance that either you're going to play for us or you're not going to play for nobody, Jack. Kind of like the same thing that the Detroit Lions did with Barry Sanders. Barry retired. But, I mean, at the end of the day, let's just call it what it is. And I would have loved to have seen Adrian Peterson fight this. I'm a guy that loves to see somebody fight City Hall and win. I would have loved to have seen Adrian fight this thing. And I even mentioned a couple of days ago, it'd be interesting to see if he comes into camp, gets his money, and doesn't give them maximum effort. I don't know if that's actually going to happen because you really don't want to do that, to be honest with you, because everybody knows when you lollygag, when you half-ass it in sports, especially football, that's when you end up getting hurt. So I don't know if that's going to happen, man. But at the end of the day, man, dude had to swallow his pride. It's $12.7 million. I mean, what you going to do? I mean, you can be as prideful as whatever you want, but at the end of the day, okay, when he can't play football, and he is getting a little bit long in the tooth, when he can't play football anymore, and he's going through hard times, hopefully not, but we've seen it time and time again with athletes, especially professional football players, 2-3 years down the road after he retires, and he's struggling to pay bills, he going to wish he had $12.75 million. You feel me? It's as simple as that. And so I think he had to swallow his pride, and we'll see what happens. We'll see how the relationship moves forward, knowing he was disgruntled, knowing he didn't want to be there. And that's why I don't, understand this whole thing from the perspective of the Vikings. If I were the Vikings, I'd try to move him. You could get something for Adrian Peterson worth value, and once again, he is a little bit older. So, if he doesn't want to be there, I don't know if I was the Vikings, I would want him to be there. I mean, it's as simple as that. So we'll see what happens with this, but he is going to report to the team and work out on off-season conditioning and little OTAs. This is the Doug Stewart Show, 404-382-0338. I was trying to read this chat, kind of preview it a little bit before I went forward. From Thorny Switch, no way, or from Sly the Sports Guy. Wayne Brady is a dope MC too. YouTube Wayne Brady freestyle on Sway in the morning. What? Are you kidding me? Well, the brother is very talented. Wayne Brady is very talented, but I never, you know what? I never pegged him for doing that type of skit that he did on Chappelle's show. So who am I to say that he can't rap either? I'm definitely going to check that out after the show, Sly the Sports Guy. KC, UAB basically starting from scratch. All of their players transferred. Yeah, all of them transferred, okay. The 47 problem looks like the Adrian Peterson was selling wolf tickets. Yeah, he was selling wolf tickets. I guess you could categorize it as that. I mean, he was trying to they were playing this sophisticated game of chicken. And, Vikings were driving a Mack truck, and Adrian Peterson was driving a little, MGB. And it just wasn't going to work, it looks like. From Texas Ty, courage is those serving our country. Courage is putting your life on the line for strangers. That's what I call courage. I agree with you, Texas Ty. I agree with you. That's courage. I don't understand the connection between this word that we're so easily throwing out, and I'm saying we, as in the media, is just throwing out to these types of situations. I don't get it. And talking about Caitlyn Jenner, a.k.a. Bruce Jenner, I don't understand the connection. Maybe someone can explain it to me. But, yeah, we've seen a couple of people in the chat room expressing it and giving examples of what they would consider courage. Once again, not that, proclaiming that you're gay or lesbian or whatever is a bad thing necessarily. I don't care. It has nothing to do with anything in my life. But I understand, why that word is always thrown out. I don't get that connection once again. From Montana Jones, ESPN knows exactly what they're doing, making a joke of an award that bears the name of a positive black man. What they see fighting AIDS and fighting racism on the same level as some fool coming out at 65, give me a break. That's from Montana Jones. From Uncle Mike, okay, Doug, I made the donation, but, dude, I'm going to need that full XL. What? Dude. And then he says, can Tree sew two XLs together? No, man. No. And I had to tell you yesterday, and I said it on the show, when you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, we are up against a break right now. We ordered a certain amount of shirts. We ordered a certain amount of XLs and larges. And then we ordered a very small amount of 2Xs. We miscalculated. All the 2Xs are gone. I'm telling you right now, all the 2Xs are gone. So you have two options. One, if you donate to the show $20 or more, we'll save your information. And when we get 2Xs, and maybe we'll even order some 3Xs. I don't know. I'm not promising that. But when we get 2Xs, then we'll have your information saved and we'll send you out a 2X. Or you can get one of these XLs as soon as you donate and just make it into a workout shirt. Cut the sleeves off and go to the gym and lose a couple of pounds. Clearly, you might need to do that. No disrespect. Okay? So that's your options. But don't let that deter you from donating to the show. Okay? Still do that. We might not have a 2X or a 3X or even a 4X as this guy's talking about. But we still love you and we'll get you something. The next time we order, we're going to order more 2Xs than we did this time. Can't really order 3Xs or 4Xs because those will probably be requested much fewer than we can accommodate. So just hold on, okay? We'll get you a 2X. But you can get a 1X right now and get you a good workout on at LA Fitness or someplace like that. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show coming back. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes!
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
I'd been talking about red rice and frogmore stew. Another one on the list on number 13 on this list is penis taste better boiled. Yes. And as God is my witness, my wife did not know people boiled penis and ate them. She did not. My wife's from Ohio. And yes, boiled peanuts, if cooked right, are the bomb.
Sports Talk. Straight, no chaser.
All right, so I got to clear something up. and I don't even know why anybody's mind would even work like this, but evidently it's becoming a topic of conversation. In the last segment, I was talking about boiled peanuts, okay, that come from out of the ground, not boiled peanuts. And so, evidently there's some talk in the chat room about Doug talking about boiled man parts. No, peanuts. I'm trying to say it as slow as I can. Peanuts, okay? What is it, P-E-A-N-U-T-S? Peanuts. No, man, not boiled peanuts. Come on, man. And I see Vern in here. Damn you, Vern. Ugh. Y'all know what the hell I was saying. This is the Doug Stewart Show. What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers in compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah, and I'm just seeing that now. Today's date is wrong, so we'll update that after the show. We can easily update that. Today is June 2nd, 2015. Trbut Tuesday, the great Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, as you hear in the background. Oh, I love this back in the day. Scorpio. Yeah. So, the members of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, obviously you know about Grandmaster Flash. His name is Joseph Sadler. Keith Cowboy. Robert Keith Wiggins. Melly Mel. Melvin Glover. The Kid Creole. Is solid gold. Nathaniel Glover Jr. Back up to Keith Cowboy. Cowboy is deceased. I didn't know that. He's died. Scorpio. Eddie, Mr. Ness / Scorpio Morris. And Raheem. Guy Todd Williams. So that's the Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, baby. Yeah. Boy, I feel like pulling out some cardboard right now. Pop lock it. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. All right, so I'm going to read chat. That's all I'm going to do this segment is read chat. A lot of stuff out there that we've been talking about today on the Doug Stewart Show. Make sure you pass the word about the Doug Stewart Show. I really would appreciate it. Let me grab this down here for a second. I'm sorry. I know this is bad radio, but I'm sorry. I had to reach down for something. This segment is brought to you by Ticket Liquidator. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers to give you the opportunity to attend the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. The goal is to bring you more tickets, better service, and lower prices so that you can be there to witness the best the world of entertainment, culture, and sports has to offer. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, Call them at 855-638-3034. Once again, that's 855-638-3034. So write that number down. You might not need tickets right at this second, but at some point you're going to want to get some tickets to a sporting event or whatever event. So give my friends a call at Ticket Liquidator at 855-638-3034. Let me read some of this chat here. Been talking about Bruce Jenner, some little NFL stories. UAB is back in the football business as well. So whatever your thoughts may be, man, you can email me at Doug@thedugstewart.com. You can give me a call at 404-382-0338. Or you can jump on the chat on Spreaker.com. That's the easy way to go, and that's really what I do throughout the show, which makes the show totally interactive. From Montana Jones, from Griff, the Cavs will win. Golden State is talented, but believe LeBron won't be denied. He feels obligated to bring a title to Cleveland, especially after coming home. Hashtag prodigal son. Get that. From William Mack, they're giving Devin Steele and Leah the Perseverance Award, but the Courage Award to Jenner. Ooh, okay, so they're covering all their bases. We talked about Devin Steele and his daughter Leah, how you would feel, especially Leah, the child who's fighting cancer, would be a better nominee for this Courage Award, this Arthur Ashe Courage Award, in her fight against cancer. But ESPN has given that award to Bruce Jenner for showing courage. Once again, from Miss Mocabella, LeBron knows he's losing his hair but can't accept it. That was too funny when he came with that George Jefferson new hairline. Yeah, I talked about LeBron when training camp started in the NBA. I mean, he had clearly lost it, and I'm sure you could probably Google it or YouTube it or whatever. They were having their little workouts during training camp, his first time back in Cleveland in a Cleveland uniform. And his hairline was fleeting. I mean, it was gone damn near in the front. And now he's back to LeBron from like 3 years ago. And it just doesn't happen like that. From William Mack, the runner-up to Jenner is a world-class marathon runner with one arm and one leg. One leg. Think about that. He can't win an ass-kicking contest, but he's out here beating two-legged men running. Oh, my gosh. Thank you, William Mack. See, that's the thing. A lot of people in the chat room, they're up-and-coming, aspiring comedians, so we get that type of thing every once in a while. The 47th problem, bruh. I just started watching Game of Thrones yesterday, episode 1, season 1. Still can't believe it can touch The Wire, though. Wait, whoa, back up. I never said the Game of Thrones was better or could compete with The Wire. I never say that. The Wire is kind of like in its own category. It is number 1 all time. Game of Thrones is good. You know? And a category all by itself is The Wire. And the next category, then you have, Sopranos and Walking Dead and Breaking Bad and Oz and all of those other things. The Wire is in a class all by itself. From Clay Davis's Advisor. I'm just waiting on Power this Saturday. Yes, I'm looking forward to Power Season 2 of Power premiering this Saturday night. With the great 50 Cent, who's going to have a much more prominent role, producer to the show. From J.B. Jennings, Game of Thrones is the type of show where you need to put the kids to bed and concentrate because your ass will get lost. Yes. Well, I don't even let my daughters watch it. I go in a different room. I go in the basement at my house, and I watch it. Me and the old lady watch it in the basement. And so whenever, like I told Tree in the last segment, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, the show is very, very adult. Let's put it like that. So whenever my daughter comes down the basement or whatever, for whatever reason, we stop it, we put it on pause, and we tell her, you got to do what you got to do and get the hell out of here. This ain't for kids here. I mean, this is a grown-up show here. And so, you definitely got to concentrate. You got to concentrate on Game of Thrones. You almost need to take notes. You feel me? You almost need to take notes. It's that in-depth and that intricate of a show. For Brian Hill, Breaking Bad, right behind The Wire. Man, I never thought in my lifetime that I'd see a show not on cable TV that I would put in the same conversation or right behind The Wire. But Breaking Bad, man, and that's why I kind of fought the urge to watch it, Breaking Bad, when it first started, because everybody was talking about it. I was like, man, it can't be that great. I've seen The Wire, And it's on, it's not on cable. It's on network TV. Technically, it can't be that good. So I kind of fought the urge or people telling me to watch it. And I slept on Breaking Bad, man. That's the best way I can put it. I slept on Breaking Bad. Phenomenal. Yes, sir. I mean, a phenomenal show, man. I mean, just a phenomenal show. See, I'm putting y'all up on game as far as good series to watch. Because TV is something that I do. TV and movies. And I'm telling you. Breaking Bad, you definitely need to see that, man. Starts out a little bit slow, I guess, because they got to try to, put everything into place. But just a phenomenal show. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show coming back. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. The Doug Stewart Show. The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show. If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you. So they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. Beat Street, reach down. Okay. You know how Kevin Hart does that? Okay. I got to tell you something. One of my favorite movies of all time is the movie to this soundtrack.
You see him rocking that beat from across the street.
Beat Street is a lesson too, because you can't let the street beat you. The great Beat Street, Shawty. Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, Trbut Tuesday. So at some point, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, at some point, we got to talk about old school movies. And maybe we'll do a top 5 movies of the 80s. And I have an actual Beat Street, and maybe I'll take a picture of it when I get back to the house. I have an actual poster. I got like these movie posters in my basement at the house. And one of the posters that I have is the poster for the movie Beat Street, one of my favorite movies of all time. And if you're a young person out there, you know what? That's a homework assignment for people under the age of 30 or maybe the age of 35 even. If you're under the age of 35, all right, download or go to Netflix or wherever you can find it because they don't really have video stores anymore. Download Beat Street, and you'll get a good sense of what it was like growing up in the early 80s, mid-80s, really. The whole culture of hip-hop graffiti, breakdancing, b-boys. That'll probably give you the best, and it tells a story, and it's not like Wild Style, and it's not like breaking or anything like that, but you kind of get like the feel of hip-hop in New York City and how we used to dress back then, even though I'm from South Carolina. I know it sounds kind of weird, but New York and hip-hop really influenced America. And Beat Street is probably the best, representation on film that I can think of. Maybe somebody can give me a better example. Not the Disorderlies with the Fat Boys. There were a bunch of great breaking movies or whatever during that era. But Beat Street to me is probably the most, the best feel as far as realness and what it was like, man, during that era of hip-hop, man, when hip-hop really first hit the scenes and went commercial in the late 80s or whatever, man. I mean, all of that's right up my wheelhouse. I was a teenager in the 80s, so, I mean, I just love that movie. I love that whole time period, man. I go back and start thinking about, how we used to dress with the Kangol and the Puma sweatsuits, windbreakers, and Puma fat laces and the shoes, Adidas, no strings in them, all of that stuff, Lee colored jeans, belt buckles, name chains, all of that is right up the wheelhouse of the Doug Stewart Show. And Doug Stewart. Damn, Grandmaster Flash taking me back. Got me in here reminiscing, man. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Let me read more of your chat. You know what the topics are, what we've been talking about. We do it every day, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. right here on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, the Doug Stewart Show. Listen, how about this, though? Remember this. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place in case something goes wrong. And for the worst, hopefully not the worst, something real bad like a death or a tragedy like that. Prime America, man, is one of the top countries in companies in this country, get it out, Dougie, that protects your family. I'm working with a guy right now. His name is Greg Wynn, one of the top reps for Prime America. And protect your family, man, and listen to what Prime America is selling and some of the great products that they have, and have a conversation with my guy Greg Wynn and tell him that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. His number is 678-439-7172. He's based here in Atlanta, but he can do deals in any part of the country. Prime America has a great product out there and something that you need to do in protecting your family. I protect my family with life insurance. You should look into it too, all right? So that's Prime America who brings you this segment. Let me read more of your chat on the Doug Stewart Show. From Brian Hill, Breaking Bad, Right Behind the Wire. From Thel Pay, you still need to watch The Sons of Anarchy, Doug. I'm telling you, that show is the truth. Several people have told me to watch The Sons of Anarchy, and I think that I'm going to do that. I think that's my next targeted show that I'm going to watch. I've got like 3-4 more episodes of Breaking Bad, which is phenomenal, and which I think they're in their 5th or 6th season. So I'm going to finish that, and I'm trying to decide which series that I'm going to watch that I haven't watched in the past. And Sons of Anarchy, I've heard from a lot of people, is good. I think that's at the top of the list right now. From Clay Davis says, she advisor. Anybody watching House of Cards? One of those shows, I think it was the House of Cards. Is that the show with Don Cheadle?
House of Cards is Kevin Spacey, Robin.
Okay, that's the one. Okay, House of Cards is something that I've been told to watch many, many times as well. What's the show with Don Cheadle on Showtime? I think it is.
It's got a similar name.
Right, I always get these two confused. And I watched the one with Don Cheadle, the first couple of episodes, and I didn't like it. And I don't know whether I just didn't give it enough time or what. But a lot of people rave about that TV show, but I didn't get it. I didn't like it.
House of Lies.
House of Lies. That's what it is. Yeah, very similar names. House of Lies and House of Cards. So I tried to watch that Don Cheadle show, and I didn't like it. There's been a couple of shows that I tried to watch, and I didn't get it, or it didn't keep my attention enough for me to keep watching it. There was a show on HBO based in New Orleans, and they used a lot of the actors from The Wire.
Trim A.
What's it called?
The Trim A. It was the bomb.
What was it called?
The Treme.
Was it called The Treme? It wasn't called that.
Trem. Okay. Trem.
Uh-huh.
Trem.
Oh, Treme. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Yeah, I tried watching that show as well, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and I stopped. I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into it at all. So that type of thing happens. If they don't keep my attention in the first, I'll give it 2 episodes. And something needs to happen in the first 2 episodes that keeps me coming back. Ray Donovan is another great series. I don't think that's on right now. I think they're in between seasons right now. Ray Donovan, fantastic show. Very good show. So looking forward to that coming back on. From Clay Davis's She Advisor as well. Power and Empire are 2 different shows. Why do people compare them all the time? I understand why people try to compare them. I mean, one guy opened up a nightclub, and he's some type of mogul nightclub guy, but he's also a hustler on the side in Power. Another guy opened up a record label, but he's also, a hustler on the side, hardcore type, gangster type. I get the comparisons, and there's black people. I get the comparisons, but they are different shows, okay? They feel different. I won't say Power is better than Empire because Empire just, and we talked about this many times when the show was on TV, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Empire just has an infinitely, in my opinion, and when you look at it, an infinitely bigger, budget. They just do, and you can tell. Like 50 Cent put together a couple of his money, a couple of dollars from his money, and some of his friends maybe in Hollywood, and they did Power. Now, it's good. I'm not saying it's bootleg or anything like that. It's very good. It looks great, but it doesn't look as great as Empire. That's the best way to put it. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. From Thale Pace, Sons of Anarchy is all about drugs, gangs, sex, and killing. Sounds like my type of show. It has all the characteristics of the makeup of a great show. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that's what I said. Sounds like my type of show. From Ronald Cameron, money talks and BS runs a marathon. That's why Peterson came back. I'm happy he's back, but I'm still skeptical on whether he wants to be there. And whether consciously or subconsciously that comes through on his play, time will tell. As far as Adrian Peterson and the Minnesota Vikings, time will definitely tell. From Ronald Cameron, or from Sluggo, Doug, who was in charge of the T-shirt operation? Who was in charge of the T-shirt operation? That's none of your business, man. But Tree was in charge. Yeah, Tree's in charge of the T-shirt operation. Let me tell you once again, for people. I mean, I'm not trying to belittle what we're doing here because what we're doing here is actually a very big thing. I mean, it's only getting bigger. Every single day, we have more listeners than the day before, and that's 8 months in running. But do not get it twisted. This is a very small operation logistically. All right? Logistically, this is a small operation. So, mainly it's me and Tree, and then we've got a couple other guys on the periphery, as well as, Waterhead, Walter, and engineers, guys that put together my website and set up the account on Spreaker.com and all of that stuff that goes on behind the scenes of the engineering. But that's pretty much it. It's like a 3, 4, 5-man operation. All right? And then we also have some contributors that help out, namely my wife and my kids. So, this is total grassroots. This is a grassroots thing that we're doing here on TDSS and Stewart Media and Entertainment. But trust me, it's working. It is working. I wouldn't be able to do this, and Tree wouldn't be able to do this for 8 months if we didn't see the gold at the end of the rainbow, and if we weren't making progress. Trust me, it just doesn't work like that. So thank you, but don't worry about who's sending out the damn shirts, man. You're gonna get your shirt. You're going to get your shirt. Stop worrying about our business. We trying to run a business here around here. Relax.
You trying to get me killed.
What do you mean trying to get you killed? You mean who doing the T-shirts? Don't worry about that, man.
Please stop it. We got a new intern in here. I want her to come back. Okay, just stop it. Sir, your shirt's on the way.
Your shirt
Our pleasure.
Right.
Chick-fil-A
All right.
style.
All right, your shirt is on the way. How about that? Don't worry about the inner workings of what's going on at SME, a.k.a. Stewart Media and Entertainment. Just slow your roll, Jack. Who was that? Let me look at it. Sluggo. Matter of fact, Sluggo.
Hey, Sluggo.
Matter of fact, let me grab my pencil.
Oh, Lord. I wanted to ask you, do you use that?
I had to stop the music for this. Go ahead, Tree.
Well, I guess I wanted to ask you about that. You said taking notes during GOT, Game of Thrones. Do you actually use that pencil in front of Mrs. Stewart?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't think she'd be okay with that.
All right, Tree, give me a second. I got to write down Sluggo name. You've been nominated for a Bald Penis Award, sir. Sluggo. O. F-O-R-D. Period. There we go. Don't go anywhere. Last segment of the Doug Stewart Show coming up. You tell us how to run our business around here. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on thedougsstewartshow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougsstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougsstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. The world's heavyweight champion of sports talk radio. This is the Doug Stewart Show. It's called Survival. In order to survive, it's called Survival. In order to stay alive, it's called Survival. Survival, survival, survival. They smile in your face and they talk behind your back. And when you get the story, it's never exact. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Friends, but they really are not, because they're only Shouts out to Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 Tribute Tuesday. We paid homage to them. A lot of fun with that, man. I'm going to really go back in this music because this is the type of music that you don't hear anywhere really no more. And they've got these old school radio stations here in Atlanta. And they don't even go that far back to, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5, African Bambaataa and all of that stuff. So we might do more of that on a Tribute Tuesday. This segment is brought to you by National Debt Relief. They're one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, specializing in debt settlement. And they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, an alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. So give them a call at 844-828-4975. Once again, that's 844-828-4975. And make sure and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Before you file bankruptcy, man, try these folks out. Yes, sir. Well, here comes Sluggo again. His ass is already nominated for a Boiled Penis Award. And you might say to yourself, if you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, what's a Boiled Penis Award? It's basically the award that we give out to the Buster of the Week in sports and beyond. Sluggo trying to run my business from wherever the hell he at. Thank you for listening to the show, though, Sluggo. But he's trying to run my business from wherever he at. And we just don't get down like that where I'm from. Who's controlling the T-shirts? No, don't you worry about that. And take this ball peanuts. Sluggo once again, though. Tree is set tripping in this piece. Since we got an ongoing list, Tree, add that not breaking 1,000 in chat is your fault, too. Okay, I don't know what happened with that. Let me see how many chat messages we got already.
Well,
we well over 1,000. What's he talking about? Yesterday or something?
Well, I just decided to take on every single issue, every single bad thing that is happening. And even before I was on the planet, Jesus being crucified, it is my fault. So he's just adding to my list.
Okay,
that's all.
got
Thank you, Sluggo. Thank you for always thinking of me.
Got you. Montana Jones, LeBron, the best when all people can talk about is his hairline. Laugh out loud. I mean, okay, that's fine. From Clay Davis's She Advisor. 9, ESPN is a sports entertainment business. Of course, they build someone up so they can tear them down. 9 on the Rhino. The Breaking Bad seasons with Gus were damn good. Oh, yeah. Gus played a very prominent role in, I think, season 4. If there were 5 seasons, I think it's season 4. It might even been season 3. He was in like 2 seasons, but his last season was season 4. But Gus, I can't remember the guy's name right now, but he's the guy that played Radio Raheem, or not Radio Raheem, I'm sorry. He played Bugging Out in Do the Right Thing. What's that, like 25 years ago? He's played in a lot of other stuff, but his most prominent, the thing that most of my generation is going to remember him for, is playing Bugging Out in Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing. You remember the dude stepped on his Jordans? Yo, man, wait a minute. Yo, you stepped on my brand new Jordans.
What about School Days when he made
Right. He was the head of the frat.
What's her name? Tisha Campbell.
Right. Do it with everybody. And then also his character Bugging Out in Do the Right Thing when they were in Sal's Pizza, and he started to bite down his pizza. He looked up. He said, "Hey, Sal, why there ain't no brothers on the wall?" And that basically started the whole uproar in Bed-Stuy. I think they were in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, and that started the whole battle between the brothers and Sal's Pizza. That was horrible. And then ultimately what happened at the end of that, the great Radio Raheem lost his life in a civil unrest. That was horrible. That was sad. There's been a couple of sad moments in black entertainment over the years. We might be able to do the top 5 sad moments in black TV and movies. Let's see. You'd have Cochise and Cooley High dying right before he was going to college. Ricky from Boys in the Hood. And there's always a theme of somebody just about to get out, but then they get killed. Then you had Ricky and Boys in the Hood. He's just about to go play some football. He was going to lead the hood, and they killed his ass. Then Radio Raheem at the end of Do the Right Thing. I mean, he wouldn't bother nobody. He didn't even speak. I mean, the man had two fisted rings, love and war. I mean, love and war. Love and war. You got to see it to understand what I'm talking about. So we've always had that common theme, man. The brother just about to get out and get shot in the head. It's not good. That was traumatic. I remember that. Ooh. JB Jennings, damn, Felpe, it's like that. You must not have any kids, bruh. How you ass watch all that damn TV? Let me back up to what Felpe right before. Felpe said, damn it, I'm trying to tell y'all, I've seen every episode of The Wire, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Sopranos, Walking Dead, Spartacus, Power, Boardwalk Empire. I've seen it all. I'm a TV junkie. I promise y'all. The Sons of Anarchy is number 1? What? Oh, I'm going to start watching tonight. If it ain't number 1, it's neck and neck with The Wire. Season 1, episode 1, have you hooked. Season 1, episode 1 will have you hooked. All right, let me review this one more time. You're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. I always talk about my TV series watching prowess. I always talk about that. This ninja, Felpe, says that he's seen every episode of The Wire, okay, and I'm giving you a check mark if I've seen it too. The Wire, check. Breaking Bad, check. Game of Thrones, check. Sopranos, check. Walking Dead, check. Spartacus, check. Power, check. Boardwalk Empire, check. So me and this man are pretty much on the same level as far as series watched. So he's an authority like myself. And he is telling me that I need to watch this Sons of Anarchy. All right, I think that sealed it. After The Walking Dead is done, after I'm done with The Walking Dead, then I will start watching the Sons of Anarchy. And damn it, it better live up to all of this billing. I'm going to tell you, because my TV watching time is very, very precious. And this is a little side note as well. And you're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Not TV, not a movie or anything like that. But I've been hooked to something else recently in the last couple of weeks. And somebody tell me if you can relate. I have been playing this game, and they promote it all the time on TV. I've been playing this game on my phone called Boom Beach. And I'm addicted. And it's almost like I'm helping promote their product or whatever. And I don't intend to do that. But you've seen the little commercials with the little, you know, it's an army war type game. And I downloaded one day a couple of weeks ago. And I'm like hooked to this thing, man. I'm like a crack addict with this Boom Beach. Very well done game. It's fantastic. It is awesome. It's next level 2015 video game. It's like a war. You try to take over these lands, and you know how war is. So it's fantastic, man. It's fantastic. From Chico the Alpha, B Street is the hardest movie of all time. I agree with you. From Niner for Life, Bruce was on Wheaties. They don't have nuts either. And on that note, we're done. On that note, we are done, Shawty. Thank you for joining me today on the Doug Stewart Show. Wow. This man say, Wheaties don't have nuts either. Okay. All righty then. Thank you so much for joining me today on the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to my producer, the Tree of Life, Waterhead Walter, Dwayne Vasson, Gerald Oliveri, my engineers, and a special shout out, man, to all of the Stewies in the chat room. We could not do it without you. Yeah, so we'll do it again tomorrow on a Wild Out Wednesday. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Pass the word. Peace.